Why do you believe Dr. Theodore Rich saved your life?
Because I was 19 years old. I was having this nervous breakdown because I was having to come to terms with my sexuality, my gray, odd, whatever, my own version of my stuff. And luckily, someone sent me to see him, and he, through patience and doggedness and whatever else a good teacher, doctor does for you, he kind of raised me. And so from 19 to 22, I'd say, 22, 23, he really brought me up and saved me.
And obviously times have changed so much now.
Oh,
but,
yes, of course.
I want to give two moments that I think give context to the times. Then the first one being at 11 years old when you write the Beverly Hills library. What happens?
So I was, to say the least, confused. I didn't really understand this nature of mine. Ride my little bike down to the Beverly Hills Public Library, and I look at books on homosexuality, and in every single one of them, I was there, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. It was mental illness, repeatedly nailed for being a mental illness. It wasn't until probably 10 or 12 years after that, the American Psychiatric Association said, no, it's not a mental illness. But at 11 years,
you're thinking what?
But at 11 years old, if that's all you know, that's all you know. Really devastating.
Explain what you did after you took an AIDS test.
Oh, so in the 80s, as AIDS started being, I never thought that I really didn't think I was a victim of it. But at one point, I thought, well, I guess I gotta take this test. And so I went to my doctor and did it. And then I became absolutely frozen with fear that there was in some little test tube somewhere outside of my body was a potential death sentence. And the idea that it existed, whether I was or not, was not, just the idea that in an animate object miles away from me, this thing could come back and I'd be told I was gonna die from it. It was so crazy making to me that I called my doctor and I said, you have to destroy this.
And he said what?
And he first said, no, I'm not, this is crazy. I said, look, you don't know how important this is to me. I can't have this knowledge out there in some test tube. I just can't bear the thought that it's there. I want it destroyed. You have to give me your word that you will do that so I can rest. Whether I've got AIDS or not is not the issue. The issue is, because I either do or don't, the issue is it's known somewhere outside of my body and I can't bear that. And he said, okay. And so I rested and relaxed and didn't think about it again. And a year or two later, he said to me, oh, by the way, of course, I opened the thing and you were negative, so.
You waited a year or two.
Oh, yeah.
You wrote, I would have secrets, but I would tell no lies.
Yes.
You also said, it wasn't courage, it was simply the minimum conditions of my conduct, and I recognize it now as the opposite of courage.
Yeah, I think that's true.
It just seems like you're unnecessarily hard on
No,
yourself.
I don't think so. I think that I mean, listen, I'm not hideously harsh on me for this. There are acts of courage. That was certainly not an act of courage, because courage would have been to say, really, I could be a role model for other people. I could make other people feel better about their circumstances if I was forthright about mine. That's an act of courage. I didn't do that.
And there
I mean, I have my reasons, I have my rationales, I have all of that. My sexuality was gray at best. It wasn't absolutely one way or the other, I could have posed, I could have done this or that, but I wasn't courageous.
you and Diane. Why have you called it the miracle of your life?
Does anybody not think that the person, that if they have had a long-term relationship with a single person, is, I think, the miracle of anyone's life? And certainly it's the miracle of mine.
Met in 74, separated 81, reunited 91, married on your birthday in 2001. What stands out from those early days?
Oh, I mean, what stands out is they're like anything. I mean, these are wonderful, and you know, to me, of course, unique. To anyone else, their memories would be unique. But we did not meet cute, but we had this coup de foudre where we were destined for each other. We didn't know it, obviously, at the time, but it was just very clear this was gonna happen. It was beyond our willpower to resist.
Looking back, would you have liked to have had a kid together?
Very much so. I was just too much of a dope. I was so immature.
What do you think you most respect about her?
It's the most respect. She kind of is Earth Mother. She has the capacity to take care of everyone. She is the essence of, and you would not think of it because of her glamorous nature and history, but she has such innate kindness that it's just, it's a fount of a constantly giving, loving kindness.